Welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Andorra, the small mountain country nestled between Spain and France in the peaks of the Pyrenees. We're going to be exploring this country and seeing what it has to offer. More than just skiing and being a tax haven and getting cheap duty free. There's some things you might not expect, so tune in and enjoy. Welcome to Andorra. You can see the sign by there, Andorra la Vella. There's a lovely Dali style clock by there, I'll show you in a minute, but I thought I would introduce you to Andorra here in front of the sign in Andorra la Vella, right on the river. It's a really nice little pedestrianised area. There's lots of tourists around, surprisingly, all on their cheap shopping trips, I assume. So yeah, let's get into it. Well, in the time it's literally taken me to walk up to my hotel to try and check in, the weather has taken a turn and it started raining, and now it has stopped raining and it's now back to sunny. No idea what's going on here. This is like the top bit of that pedestrianised section, so the bridge is like down that way, and then this is like the shopping section. Shopping is big business here in Andorra. It is tax-free and duty-free, so you can get a lot of stuff a lot cheaper than you would elsewhere. So they have lots of tourism in from neighbouring Spain and France, where people can come here. Oh, some dogs fighting in the street there. You can come in, have a weekend away, buy what you would buy at home, and the money you save basically pays for the weekend for you to go away. So can't really fault it, to be honest. My hotel is that one by there. It's called the Coloma Hotel Cafe. It says you can check in at 3 and it's about 5 to now, so I'm going to jump in, try and check in, and I will show you what the room is like. See what it's like. From light. Well, this'll do. Oh, this is fine. Considering it said it was like a budget single room. Oh, this is perfectly pleasant. Okay, just had a shower to freshen up. Let's do you a little bit more of a tour. That is the shower. It was pretty good actually, especially that overhead one. Yeah, that was pretty good. Toilet has also been christened, also perfectly fine. This is the room properly. Bedside plugs even. Plug-side beds. Some other plugs down by there as well. Decent bin, a radiator. There's no aircon in here, and the room certainly has a view. Yeah, nice, picturesque. One of the most picturesque places I've been, and that's my view. Sorry, I can't. Locked. Oh, that's locked. There we go. Figured it out in the end. Bed's pretty comfy. I am shattered, if I'm honest, guys. I had 3.5 hours sleep last night. My alarm was at 1:30 in the morning to get to the airport. So I am going to crash out for a little bit, and then we will have a proper explore, and we will see what Andorra has to offer. One of the smallest countries in the world. Let's go. Okay, well, that little rest turned into a nap. as you can well imagine. Back out in Andorra now though, and we're gonna go for a little explore. We're gonna explore the capital of Andorra, La Vella. It is just gone 6 o'clock in the evening, so let's see what's going on. It's very busy. Is this what you expected from Andorra? The tiny mountain nation? Certainly not what I expected. I knew that it was like a shopping capital of Europe because it's all duty free and no tax, but so much more commercialised than I thought. But the city is basically just a huge shopping centre, really. Everywhere, shops are all no tax, no VAT, duty free. Crazy, crazy. So if you want somewhere to come and do your shopping, this is it, really. I never understand these sweet shops. This is the first one I've seen that's not American branded, so at least that. But no one buys any from there. They're everywhere. I've seen them in some crazy places as well. This isn't even the most ridiculous. But is it money laundering? It's got to be something, surely, hasn't it? Because they're everywhere. Well, and just like that, we're back to where we were earlier. Right by the river, by the Dali clock, and by the Andorra sign. The temperature's really dropped off this evening. So it is, I'll tell you exactly when it is. It's the 10th of May. Sorry, I had to look at the date. It's the 10th of May when I'm filming this. And in Toulouse, where I flew into, I was quite happy with the t-shirt. I brought my coat as well. I'm in a fleece now as well. It's really dropped off, quite chilly. But we are, I can't remember what elevation we are, 2,500 meters up in the Pyrenees. So I might have mentioned this in the intro, but I also might not have, but it's popped into my head, so I'll mention it now. I find it really interesting that Catalan is the official language here, not French or Spanish. It's Catalan is the official language. Most stuff is trilingual anyway, with the three, and then English added as like a fourth usually as well. But it is quite interesting that the historical ties are with Catalonia rather than with Spain or France. Also, segue for me to mention that the head of state of Andorra, there are two. One is the French president. So, is it Macron at the minute? I can't remember. Whoever the president of France is the one of the heads of state of Andorra, and the other is a bishop, a local bishop just outside Andorra, called the Bishop of Urgell. That's the other head of state. When I say that the country is just boutiques and shops pretty much everywhere, I really mean it. Like, you look around now, every store is a sort of high designer fashion outlet or boutique or perfume shop, watches, everything like that. Just quickly going to run across the road before I get squished by a lorry. But yeah, just everything really gives this place a feeling of if you go to like a real financial centre of a city like London or something, it feels like that. Apart from it's significantly more beautiful because of the mountains, makes it much more photogenic and picturesque than pretty much anywhere in Western Europe, really. Well, behind there is the old Parliament House of Andorra, one of the oldest in Europe, from the 1500s, and clearly I've turned up a bad time. because you definitely cannot go in and see it. Is Starbucks brilliant? No. Is it really handy when it's 7:30 and you want coffee and all the coffee shops are closed? Yes. Gonna wander back to the other part of the centre because there is a water lights show later that I want to check out. So we're gonna wander back down there. I'm gonna grab some food, I think, and then yeah, hopefully it'll be time to check that out. Well, I probably mentioned this in the intro as well, but apparently Andorra is one of the safest countries in the world. In terms of crime rate, almost none. Way better than most of the European countries. It's firmly the safest country in Europe statistically, and pretty much the safest in the world, which is pretty impressive. Well, it's that time of the night now. I decided to go and grab some food. It was a pretty swanky area, so decided to jump into this restaurant to grab some food. Had a nice beer, and I grabbed myself a pizza. I grabbed something I've not really seen before on a menu. I had a bolognese pizza. Now, there's going to be some people shouting at me for having a bolognese pizza in Andorra, but you know what? It was really, really nice. Not something I've seen before, not something I've seen since. So enjoyed that. Well, that was a nice meal. I know I end up eating pizza pretty much everywhere, but what can you do? It's lovely. Pizza's great. So total for that was €21. That was for my pizza, a beer and a Coke as well, because I just needed something actually refreshing. So yeah, €21, so that's like £18, which I think is decent value for money. I thought before coming here and before sort of reading about it, I thought it was going to be particularly expensive, but actually it's been very cheap, really, in the most part. And now for a free bit of entertainment, every weekend in Andorra on the river, they do a light show. These lights were accompanied by, at first, a classical song, and now by a modern pop song. Sadly, though, YouTube is not letting me upload with the music, so you get me talking over this rather than the very, very appropriate music to the strobe lighting. It was good. It was a bit of free entertainment on a Saturday night, and there was a really big crowd there for it as well. A couple of hundred people easily, some locals, some tourists. It was really, really good. Well, that was good, wasn't it? Free entertainment in Andorra. Only slight positive is about a quarter of the way through that, the heavens opened and it started chucking down with rain. So I've had to don my hat, because stupidly I've again brought a coat with no hood on holiday, which has proven a bit of a problem because it turns out it rains a lot in Andorra. But yeah, I mean, free entertainment, Saturday night, that was great. Good morning from Andorra. Pretty comfy sleep, bed was pretty comfy, decent mattress. Pillows are nice too, which is a touch that you don't get in some places. The only thing I would say as a negative is that the walls are very, very thin. So when my neighbour's alarm went off at 7, I woke up. So that's not ideal. I think they are literally one plasterboard thick, which is not great, but hey ho. Gonna go out and get a coffee or some breakfast now, and then I'm gonna go to watch some Andorran football. Well, not what you expect to see when you look in the window of a corner shop trying to get yourself a drink in the morning. Pepper spray, guns, knives, all sorts here in Andorra. Well, found a nice spot for breakfast in the end. Fantastic variety of pastries, and I got myself some much needed caffeine, as well as something nice. Well, the coffee's good. Really nice coffee. Strong as well. Which I need because I'm tired again this morning. The views here are just incredible. You walk down literally one street and that's what you're met with. I'm going to try this croissant in a second. I've got a pistachio one, which I think has pistachio cream in as well. Might be a little messy though, so I might have to stop for a minute. God, look at this in all of its glory. I'm prop that by there, and I'm going to tuck in. It does have pistachio cream in. Well, I think it's safe to say that was the best croissant I've ever had in my life. If you're in Andorra la Vella, go to Santa Gloria Coffee House, because their cakes were unreal. Coffee's not bad either, to be fair, and this is not paid promotion. But if they do want to pay me to come and live in Andorra and eat croissants from them all day, fine by me. Right, only a couple of minutes away from the football ground that I'm going to. Fully aware some of you might not like football, but I firmly do. I try and go to some kind of sport on every trip I go to. I just think it's a nice way of interacting with local people and finding out what makes them tick, personally. So I'll head down here, see what's going on, watch some football, and then maybe something a little bit more exhilarating this afternoon. Don't want to give too much away, but let's wait and see. Well, the rain is really coming down now, but I'll tell you what, we're just getting to the ground. There can't be many grounds in world football more scenic than this. This is incredible. Right, into the ground now. This is what it's like. A couple of stands. Luckily there's a roof. Fairly full. I think it's mostly academy kids and stuff though. Yeah. What a view. Good, eh? Would have been better if I'd have caught those 2 wonder goals, but got the one. Fantastic scenes at the end. FC Santa Coloma qualifying for Europe. Have a nice trip. Oh, thanks. See you. You need to ride? No, it's okay. Thanks though. That was the German fella that I met, who is a ground hopper too. So yeah, like I was saying, FC Santa Coloma qualified for Europe, so they'll be playing in the Conference League next year. Good to see him do it. Great. And just for the last time, what a setting. It's got to be one of the most scenic grounds in Europe, surely. Well, this now is the small town of Santa Coloma itself. Thought it was only right to take a wander down here after watching his 2 football teams play earlier. There's one real thing of interest in Santa Coloma, but I don't want to spoil it, so we'll just teleport there now. Well, this is why we came here. This is the Church of Santa Coloma. It is from the 9th century, which means that I believe that it predates the Andorran people, which is crazy. Right, decided to take a walk into the city now from there, and we're going to go and do something a little bit more high adrenaline this afternoon, hopefully. Okay, we're on the bus. It's a nice bus, and to be fair, very cheap. So So we're going to the town of Canillo, which I think is like 15-20 minutes away, and this only costs €3. So we've made it to the town of Canillo. I need to find the tourist information office apparently, because that is how that you get the bus to where I'm going. Town looks nice though. Right, tourism office sorted. Got my ticket for what we're doing. We're going to the Pont Tibetan, which is the Tibetan bridge, which looking at terrifies me. But I'm going to make a point of going just for this, just for you. I'm not convinced I'm going to actually cross the bridge. You will completely understand why when I show you. But to get there we have to get a bus, which is part of what you have to go to the tourist office for. Costs €16 for the entrance, which you get the bus with, which is not too bad. And to be fair, it's the first actual tourist thing I've paid any money for since being in the country, so can't begrudge them that. Just get into the bus and then we will get up there. On the bus and get up to the Tibetan bridge. So the bus drops you off down there, and then you walk up here, and the bridge is up at the end. Look at this. Talk about scenery. Imagine living there and this being your view. It's quite incredible. I bet it's bloody cold in the winter though. It's pretty cold now, and I keep checking the date. I'm awful at this. It's the 11th of May, and it is snow-capped mountains and a bit of drizzle in the air. But yeah, crazy. Bloody hell, they got a trampoline. Don't know why I wouldn't expect them to have a trampoline. It's their house. Well, that's a bit crazy to me. Trampolining. Pretty much on the side of a mountain. Feels like we're on the top of Europe here. And behind me, this is why we are here. This is the Tibetan bridge of Canillo. There's a Portuguese couple going first because I'm scared of heights. And I'm not sure how far across I'm going to actually get. Isn't it incredible? We are 1,800 meters up, so that's 1,800 meters. And the bridge is, hang on, I'm reading the facts by here. The bridge is 160 meters long, and it is a 600 meter drop from the highest point. I cannot promise how far across this I'm going to get before my knees go wobbly and I turn back, but I will give it a go. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I was convincing myself then, if I'm honest. So, yeah. What a view though. The Andorran mountains, the Pyrenees. Pretty much around the tops now. Snow layers not too far above us. Right, I'm going to give it a go. I am terrified of heights, but I think you should not conquer your fears, because that is unrealistic, but I think you should poke them. You should poke your fears every now and again. I have no idea how far across I'm going to go. If I make it 10 feet, then that is in fact an achievement for me. So we will give it a go. Genuinely, this far across is an achievement, in my opinion. But I will go a little bit further and push my boundaries. This is where we're at. There's absolutely no way I'm getting across as far as that couple have, but nah, sorry folks, that's as far as I can go. Pretty breathtaking, even if I didn't manage to get across as I wanted. But my knees were wobbling, and nah, wasn't gonna happen. But do you know what? I gave my fear a poke. Well, that's it behind me. There we go. Tibetan Bridge of Canillo. Very, very, very impressive. But as is that drop, and sadly, they got the better of me. And I think, if most people are being honest, it would have got the better of them too. Right, I guess it's time to head back down to Canillo. I should have actually checked that the bus back down comes from the same place the bus drops you off. I assume it does. There we go. One last look at the incredible scenery. Well, not that I'm trying to make myself feel better, but I just googled how high the Empire State Building is. So the Empire State Building is 380 meters high, and I've been up that, and that was terrifying. But I did it. Fair play. Whatever. Not looking for an applause. The drop from that bridge is 600 meters, so it's nearly double. Yeah, so perfectly reasonable. But you know what? Well worth it for the absolutely breathtaking views from up here. Because it's El Clásico day, and I quite fancy watching in a pub, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that all of the Andorrans probably support Barcelona as their big team. Okay, off the bus, back in Andorra la Vella now. Well, technically I'm in Escaldes, which is the upper end of the capital. There's a big gun shop by there. I'm not going to take a video of it because the last one earlier told me off. I'm going to try and find somewhere to watch the end of the Barca against Real Madrid game. So you can come along with me to that. Good morning folks, it is a cold Monday morning here in Andorra, and sadly with this brings an end to my time in Andorra. The bus station is just over there, and from there I get the bus to Barcelona in order to fly home. I had a really nice couple of days here, and I hope you enjoyed the content that I brought you from it. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. The bus to Barcelona takes about 3 hours. So that's nice and easy. So I'll just I'll leave you with this wonderful scenery for one last time.